Yes, good morning, students.
Good morning, sir.
Am I audible and
Morning.
screen is visible?
Yes, our screen is visible, sir.
Okay. We started our journey in C programming by learning basic data types like integer, character, float, double. Integer is a capable of holding only one value into it. Suppose if you are suppose if you are considering int x is equal to 10, int x is equal to 10. If you want to change the x value as 20, the previous x value like 10 will be erased. That means only one variable, one value into it. Multiple values cannot be stored in a single variable of basic data types like character also, float also, double also. Those are all basic data types which are built in C programming. All those are capable of holding only one value into it. So in order to have more values into a same data type, same variable, we introduced array. Here you see int ARR of 50, which can hold 50 values into it. But all those 50 are integers only, not other values. All the 50 values are integers only, homogeneous. That means the same. Like if you want to introduce string, that is character, I am considering str of 100. Str of 100 means what? String of 100 values. Here also all are homogeneous only. That means all are characters. Here all are integers. Here all are characters. If you want to consider some float array, some float array of some 200. All are float values. All are homogeneous. Within a ARR, we can store 50 values. All are homogeneous integer values. Within a str, you can store up to 100. This 100 represents maximum size. Here 50 represents maximum size. Here 200 represents maximum size. But all are homogeneous only. All are homogeneous. Suppose there is a situation like if you want to represent some book information. Book information will be consists of book ID, book name, book cost. Book ID is of which data type? Integer data type. Book name is of a string or a character, series of values. Book cost is of float data. Now imagine if you want to represent the book information under a single data type, you need some heterogeneous things. That means dissimilar data types. We need to combine those dissimilar data types into a single data type. That's why the concept of structure comes into picture. Structure is a combination of heterogeneous data types. See here. Structure is a collection of data types grouped together under a single name for a easier manipulation. And I told you, structure is a heterogeneous. Structure is heterogeneous. See here, first is struct. Struct means a keyword. There are how many keywords in C programming?
$32, sir.
Yes, 32. Among those 32, struct is one keyword. That is a reserved word. You cannot change it. Now book. Book is a name of a structured data type. And here what I am considering, one integer, one character, one float. Integer is a number, identifier is a number, char here identifier is a other, float here identifier is a cost. Here I am considering one B. What is this B? Represents a structure variable. What is the purpose of structure variable? See, I will explain you on here. The entire struct book bracket start int number semicolon char other 20 semicolon float cost semicolon brackets closed brackets. Everything I have mentioned here like in a red color. Please understand this entire information I have converted into a horizontal. That means this, suppose I want to declare one integer data type called X. How to declare? I want to declare one integer data type called X. How to declare in C programming?
Int X.
Int X semicolon, right? Likewise, I want to declare one structure. Here, someone please mute your end. Right, suppose int X semicolon. Like this, in the place of int, this is a predefined data type. You can understood this entire red color, which is the pack of integer character float. Like X, you can imagine B. That means for this entire data type, you are considered identifier B. Like this, for entire data type int, you are taking the identifier called X. Right? See, this I will explain you later. Right. Now, in the similar manner, we are considering for student details. You have started void main. Here struct student number, name, fee. 3 data types. 3 are heterogeneous. One is integer, second one is character, third one is float. What is the structure variable here we are considering?
Sir.
What is the structure variable here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, good. What is the purpose of structure variable? Can anyone answer?
It can access any data type in the structure, sir.
Yes. In order to access the elements of a structured variable, structured data type, we can use a structure variable. That means S is used to access NO, S is used to access name, S is used to access fee. S is used to access number, S is used to access name, S is used to access fee. How to access?
Using dot operator, sir.
Sai is responding.
Yes, sir. I am sorry.
Using dot operator, we can access structure
Yes.
variable can access the structure elements using dot operator. Here you see there is a dot operator. Dot is a operator. Previously, I have insisted you regarding a keyword called struct. Now I am discussing you with a operator called dot. See, this program is to consider the student information from the keyboard and print them, print the same information, which is hello world program in structures. Printf enter student information, then student information you need to enter. The entered student information will be stored into a student structure. So S dot NO, S dot name, S dot fee. Right? The same information we are printing. Printf %d comma S dot NO, S dot name and S dot fee. Just we are considering the values and printing the values. Right? How many students will be there in a class? Only one student? How many students are there in IT2?
63 students.
63. 63 are there. That means students may not be only one. So here more number of students are there. Then how to solve this issue? Here only one student is there, we are accessing all the values. If students are increasing. So what I am doing is considering 3 students. Someone said array of structures, I will go to that, please wait. Now you see S1, S2 and S3, 3 structure variables I am considering. Instead of one structure variable called S here, you see here, yes. Instead of only one S, I am considering S1, S2 and S3, 3 structure variables. But how I am doing here is different. Struct, I am closing here with semicolon. After that, struct student S1, S2, S3 semicolon. Here you can do with here only S1, S2, S3 also, no problem. Now I am considering 3 students information. Enter 3 students information. First student number, first student name, first student fees. Likewise. The same information I am printing here. Here you see percentage D, percentage S, percentage F. Number, name, fee. Number, name, fee. Second student. Number, name, fee. Third student. 3 students are there total. Same, first student information print, second student information need to print, third student information need to print. What type of information it is? Number, name, fee. That means structure with multiple variables. And as I said you, there are 63 students in your class. You cannot have S1, S2, S3, comma, S4, S5, S6, S7, S63. But it will not look good, isn't it? You cannot do that. So, someone said array of structures. This concept is called array of structures. If you use a array as a structure variable, the concept is called array of structures. Here S of 3, I am considering S of 3. You can consider S of 63 also, no problem. S of 63 also, no problem. Just I kept 3 here. In your entire class, you can do 63 and less than or equal to 63 and less than or equal to 60. That is. Then I value runs from 1 to 63. So SI dot NO, please understand the change here. SI dot NO, SI dot name, SI dot fee, SI dot NO, SI dot name, SI dot fee. You can customize this 63 also with your own number of students data. That means you can consider any n value and you can ask how many students are there in your class. Suppose in a B section, there may not be 63 members. Suppose there are 65 members. You cannot change the code every time. So you can consider 63 as a n value, and n value also will be entered by a user only. Right? So what is array of structures? If we are using a array as a structure variable, if we are using array as a structure variable, then the concept is called array of structures. Right? Here you can add the student. If you can have your marks of a student, and you can add the marks and compute the average marks and total marks also. Some people have done it all. Right. So what we realized is, as a structure variable, we can use a array also. And one more information. Here, what is S? What is S?
Structure variable, sir.
Structure variable. For a structure variable, I am using a pointer. Then we need to change this dot operator to arrow operator. A pointer can be used as a pointer variable can also be used as a structure variable. At the same time, here also you need to have, instead of dot operator, again arrow. Wherever you are using a dot operator, replace with the arrow operator. Pointers are nothing but a memory management. They will be used for the memory management. Here, remove all those dot operators and replace the arrow operator. The same concept, no change everywhere. Instead of dot, we can use, sorry, instead of dot operator, we can use a arrow operator. Because here a structure variable is not a normal variable, it is a pointer variable. Right? And one more information is while you are doing so, how much the memory will be occupied? Integer of ID. ID integer means sometimes 4 bytes, sometimes 2 bytes. Let us assume here is 4 bytes. So int ID is for 4 bytes. This one box represents 1 byte, suppose. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 boxes represents 4 bytes. So memory address is 1000 up to 1001 because 4 bytes of memory. Character name of 10. One box represents 1 byte. So name of 10 means 10 bytes. So 1004 plus 10, 1014. Float also will take 4 bytes of memory. So 1014, 1014 plus 4, 1018. So this part represents salary, information related to salary. There may be a question in your examination like how a structure can be represented in a memory. You can have some example and explain. Without example, you cannot write all the stories. For example, you can consider, you can explain like this. Right? Structure with a single variable. Structure with a point, just write the outlines also what we are doing. Structure with a single variable. Structure with a pointer variable. Structure with a multiple variables. Structure with a array variable, that is called array of structures. Structure with a array variable. That means all the information residing in a structure called number, name, fee can be repeated for how much the maximum size of a structure variable you are considering here is 63. For 63 times you can repeat number, name, fee, which is nothing but an array of structures. Have you done the program like to calculate mean, variance, standard deviation? Mean, variance and standard deviation.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
What are the things required for that to solve that program? Whether we need to use functions?
Yes, sir.
Functions. And what are the data type? Main data type required is what is the main data type required to solve that problem? Please give reply. What is the main data type required to solve the problem?
Float data type.
Float array. Yes.
Yes.
How to you? Why float array is required? Why float array is required? What is the purpose of that float array? No one in the class is responding. It is not.
To store n
Right.
number of elements.
Sorry.
To store n number of elements.
Input values in a one word input. Suppose if you are considering some input values, for those input values you need to find out mean, variance, standard deviation, right? And the array which can be passed as an argument to a function in such a case. Have you done that? Array as an argument to a function. Yesterday we have some discussion that function means what? Function name we can give, any name we can give as a function. Void add int comma int. What type of a function it is? No.
Takes arguments and does not returns.
Takes arguments and does not return. Here in the place of add, I can write my name also, no problem, right? You have any problem?
No, sir.
No. Can I stop only one integer? Is it okay for you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
No integer, no argument. Is it okay for you?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
3 arguments I want to take. Is it okay?
Okay,
Yes, sir.
3 arguments without return type. Sorry, with return type. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. No arguments. Is it okay?
Yes,
Ah,
sir.
okay, sir.
Yes. Only one argument. That argument is array. Is it okay?
okay,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Please, someone is mute your end. That means for a function called variance, I am considering a function called variance, which can take a argument called array argument. Array as a argument. That means what is our motivation? An array can be passed as an argument to a function. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Now, a structure can also be passed as an argument to a function. This we have done, this program already we have done. Now, what we are realizing is a structure can also be passed as an argument to a function. How to do that? Consider a struct student, name and age, only 2 values, and close. Start the void main and struct student S1. I am declaring a variable called a structure variable inside of a main. Structure variable can be declared in 3 ways. Before semicolon only you can consider here S1. No problem. Then after semicolon you can consider struct student S1 outside of the main. That is second type. And struct student S1 inside of the main. Inside of a main also you can declare a struct student S1. Right? Enter name S1 dot name, enter age S1 dot age. Just we can write instead of display of S1. This display is a function, user defined function. Display is a user defined function. This display will take a variable called S1. That variable is a structure variable. So structure variable can be passed as an argument to a function, user defined function. User defined function name is display. Now I am defining display here. So why the display struct student S? Because in S1 is a actual variable. S is a
Formal variable.
yes, formal variable.
Or
So
dummy.
S dot name, S dot H. This is a simple example which describes it is possible to pass a structure variable as an argument to a function. We can try one more example also. Right? Suppose suppose we are storing the employee details. Employee details. For employee details, there are different items related to employee. Like a book, employee also having some. Right. Employee always have some name. Employee age also exists. Employee address also is important. Right? But address consists of, again, some inside of an address we need to have a what is a country is working, what is a city. Of course these two are string data types, street and door number. Suppose so within a outer structure employee, we need to declare a inside of a structure called address. A structure within a structure. That means we have a structure called employee. In that structure employee, I am declaring another structure called address. Since it is needed. What is right now? Tell me what is EMP is here. In this example, what is EMP? EMP
Structure variable.
Structure variable of which structure?
Address.
Sorry.
Employee.
Employee. This struct employee. This EMP is a structure variable for employee. Address is a structure variable for address data.
Address.
Suppose let us without any confusion consider ADD. ADD is a structure variable for address structure. EMP is a structure variable for employee. Is it okay for you?
Oh, okay, sir.
Now, this type of structures are called complex structures. Then how to access the values? If you want to access the name, we can do emp dot name. It is okay. If you want to access the country or city, how to do
EMP dot
add dot city. Because in a structure called employee, in a substructure called ADD, you need to access city. Suppose if you want to access age, then there is no restriction. emp.age, which is a direct variable for a employee structure. What we call this type of structures?
Complex structure.
Complex structures. This type of structures are called complex structures. There is no much programs related to unions for your syllabus. Instead of using a structure, the keyword called structure, we need to use a keyword called union. Same, remaining everything is same. But in the case of union, right, as I told you, for an integer, suppose 2 bytes memory is required. For a name, 10 bytes. For a float, 4 bytes. Total is total is 16 bytes. Total is 16 bytes for the case of structures. If you replace the word called struct with union, then the maximum of these three, 2, 10, 4. The maximum is, what is the maximum among 2, 10, 4?
10.
So 16 is not required, 10 is sufficient. Only one value is active at one time. Only one value is active at one time. All the remaining data types will share the same memory. In a structure, each and every variable has its own memory location. Structure, if you define a structure with 3 variables, 3 variables has same location. Same memory location. 3 variables has. Individually, own location will be allotted. But in the case of union, which is a common hall, structure means every variable has its own house. Union means a common hall, common waiting hall. In that common waiting hall, all are using at a time. Sorry, here is the case, one variable is active at one time. Right? This gives a definition, the differences between structure and union. I think it may be a famous question for your examination. You can read it once so that you can understand how to declare which is having more, which is need more memory, which is need less memory. All the variables are active or inactive. Each member has its own unique storage area. Everyone has its separate rooms. Separate rooms will be allotted for each variable. But common hall will be given, though for that common hall will be utilized by all the variables in the case of union. Unions are the concept like a memory management. You can have save some memory in the case of unions.